he can tell that I'm a responsible young being and will take great care of his daughter. Young being? What?
You look really old in this picture.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up if you want. Today, we are completing Neckbeard Mike, or so I do hope. If you missed the previous stories, those are down in the description. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Neckbeard just wanted my lady to like Alfonso. Who the hell is Alfonso? Alfonso's a type of rum, I think, in the Philippines. Is that what we're talking about? That can't be what we're talking about. Chemical Uprising here with another Neckbeard Mike story. Be sure to check out my other Neckbeard Mike stories, blah blah blah, and click my account to suss them all out. Account is deleted. Let's get right into it. Cast, be me. OP, 20 years old, just got a second job at some hippie store. Don't hate, money's money. Yeah, but not when it's dirty hippie money. Other job is at Target. Work sucks, I know.
She left me roses by the stairs.
Is that what you're going for? I sure hope so. A hustle is a hustle. I hope you found something better in the decade prior. I want you to be living your best life, OP. Don't be Neckbeard Mike, of course. A 6-foot-tall sack of grease. He is the smell that lingers in the room even once he's left. He works at Kohl's, which is a grocery store for the non-Aussies. Yeah, for me, Kohl's is a department store, but they spell it different. This story takes place at a small hippie store I recently got a job at due to my mom's persistence in persuading the owner to hire me. Your mom hangs out with hippies? I don't know, we gotta have a talk about that.
Goddamn hippie!
Whoa, dude! Not cool!
I had my first all-day shift managing the store by myself. And you're a recent hire? That does seem like a really hippie thing to do. I don't know, man, you've been here a week, like, you're in charge. I'm gonna go smoke a bone in the back. During this time, I did everything I was instructed to, but because no one came into the store, I had a lot of downtime. This downtime generally included playing multiple games of solitaire and pinball on the computer, which had no internet. Kill me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those jobs are sort of rough, but you just make the best of it. When I had a do-nothing job like that, I'd brainstorm YouTube videos in my downtime. I really enjoyed jobs that had a lot of downtime. Wifey, she's kind of different. She says it makes the time go way too slow. Anyway, continuing. Around 2 hours into my shift, I got a message from yours truly, Neckbeard Mike. Neckbeard Mike, hey OP, should I get a Wii U from Target? You're working, aren't you? OP, I'm not working there today. I'm at my second job. So sure, buy a Wii U if you want. I personally wouldn't, but it's up to you if you dig the games. He wants you to come over and play Super Smash Bros, if you know what I mean. As a side note, both jobs that I have are located in the same shopping center. Neckbeard Mike, oh really? Where? Also, the only reason I'm actually getting it is because it's super cheap at Target, and I want to rip them off. How blissful is it going to be if I buy it and save $100 and can rub it in Target's face every damn day? Oh yes, I'm sure they'll care deeply about you clearing out their inventory of this system that had such a difficult time selling. Is this your way of buying a Wii U and trying to make it seem cool? Because it's never gonna be cool. Fun? Enjoyable? Not cool. OP says, I just work at a small clothing store. If that's what you want, then go for it, man. I don't even understand why we're having this conversation. Neckbeard Mike replied saying that he was gonna do it and that he would see me later. Oh yeah, looking forward to it. Considering I didn't tell him the name or location of the store, I was confused by his message, but thought nothing of it. He's gonna track you down like an old hound dog. This was a rookie mistake, of course, because Neckbeard Mike is totally unpredictable, and he never fails to surprise me with his creeper/stalking skills. Yeah, now imagine if you were a lobster, right? Whoa! It's a throwback to the first story. A few more hours at work passed after that last message, and I was bored and desperately looking for something to do. As I went to fix the rack near the doors for the 25th time, I noticed an utterly fedorkable and euphoric yet familiar sight. How do you got fix the rack so much if nobody's in the store? Did you have 25 customers in there and they all looked at the same rack? Or are you just trying to pass the time? In which case Neckbeard Mike might be useful. Although the frustration might make time go even more slower. It was indeed the great Neckbeard Mike, dressed in cargos, runners, a shirt with cowboys and Indians all over it, and, wait for it, a freaking cowboy hat. Yeah! The hat was about 2 sizes too big. He looked like a young child playing dress-up in this ill-fitting fashion faux pas. I mean, it's got a theme to it, I'll give him that. He just needs the shoes and some proper pants. But I could see some effort went into this. He was really trying to impress you here, OP. Mike hadn't noticed me yet, so I ran back inside and stood behind the counter. Neckbeard Mike looked like he was on a mission as he desperately looked into each and every store he passed. I only now realize that he was looking for me. Yeah, dude, he saw your car. He knows you're there. He's gonna pop up right behind you like Jason or something. As he was about to walk past the store I was in, he saw me, waved, and hobbled on into the store. Hey, welcome, Neckbeard Mike. OP, I found you. You sure did, buddy, he said as he clutched a Target plastic bag closely to his chest. OP, hi. How did you find me here? Neckbeard Mike. Well, you said you had a new job, and I figured this center is the closest to your house, so you might be in one of these shops. Come on, Mike, aren't you excited to go home and play the Wii U? Just get out of here, man. Go enjoy yourself. At this point, Neckbeard Mike was copping quite a few stares from people walking past the shop, and no one dared to walk in as he was blocking the entrance to the store. Can you smell him over the hippie patchouli or not? That's what I want to know. OP says, well, that's a little creepy, Mike. Did you buy the Wii U? Neckbeard Mike's joyous expression faded as he scowled defiantly. It was the expression that one would have if they'd been sucking on a lemon as they stubbed their toe. Stroking his facial pubes, he replied with, I did not. What happened? By this point, Neckbeard Mike looked extremely pissed off. OP asks, why not? Wasn't that the whole reason you ventured out this way? What's in the bag anyway? Neckbeard Mike. Just some maternity pants. Anyway. Maternity pants for you? Is your mom pregnant? Oh my god, he's just given up. He's like, I'm a fat slob. I wear nothing but maternity pants now. Holy sh**. Neckbeard Mike then went on to describe in excruciating detail how the sales assistant would not perform a price match and that he, and I quote, lost it at that bloody monkey-faced baboon. And then he stormed out. He didn't lose it. He didn't explode. He seethed. That's what most incels, nice guys, neckbeards do. They seethe. And then they tell a cool story on the internet later where everybody clapped. Neckbeard Mike says, I was contemplating throwing my hat at her boomerang style to bop her on the nose, but I couldn't part with Alfonso. The hat is named Alfonso. And yeah, I love how he contemplated it. Like I said, nothing actually happened. He turned red in the face and paid and walked out. At this point, OP says, I couldn't help myself, and I just burst out laughing. I'm pretty sure I didn't stop laughing for around 7 minutes. Neckbeard Mike, what the hell are you laughing at? While I was still trying so hard not to laugh, An older woman wedged between Mike and the clothes rack to enter the store. I have no idea why, but Mike took one look at the woman, tipped his cowboy hat in my direction, and said, "I best be on my way," and then ran the hell out of the store. Was it a Naruto run? How did he ever think this was gonna work? Like, she'd be like, "Oh, you named your hat Alfonso? That's so sexy." No. By this point, I had lost it, and the lady shot me a confused look. When I got home, I received a message from Neckbeard Mike that read, "Hey, sorry I had to bounce. I was late for an arcade meeting." Sure you were, Neckbeard Mike. Yeah, let's bounce, dog. It's gonna be so flippity fly. That concludes this story of the infamous Neckbeard Mike. I have a few more I still haven't told, and a couple more cringy Facebook statuses that I should upload. We do have the stories. Those statuses have been lost to time, however. Cue up a random short story time. Oh, goody. So my sister had her first run-in with a neckbeard a week or so ago. Not extremely euphoric, but it made me laugh nonetheless. So my sister Anne and her mate, Tanya, went to the movies to watch 22 Jump Street. Now, for those who have seen it, you will know that there are many laughs throughout the film. Haven't seen it. OP says, I personally loved it and saw it twice in cinemas. Now, Tanya has a somewhat loud but cute laugh. And knowing her, she would have laughed a whole crap ton during that movie. Loud but cute. I don't know if those are synonymous. It's probably annoying as hell. It's just cute if you know her. My sister said that her and Tanya were sitting in their seat waiting for the film to start when your typical Necky walked in. Let's call him Sir Silence. My sister described in perfect detail exactly what he looked like. He had really long hair tied up in a ponytail, was wearing a fedora, a band t-shirt, a long leather trench coat, and a neck full of pubes. Anne said that he had no actual beard, just a few puby hairs on his chin, a weak mow, and a neck scattered with short, distant hairs. I assume a mow is a mustache. Looks like he was just drinking some chocolate milk or something. Now, Sir Silence sat down behind my sister and Tanya, and due to Tanya's quote-unquote excessive laughter, he repeatedly told them to be quiet during the movie. Apparently, he said it whenever Anne or Natanya made a sound, no matter what the decibel was. Apparently, he got so fed up that people were laughing in general that he moved to the very back of the cinema. And when people wouldn't stop laughing, he cried out, "Shut up!" And he left the cinema entirely. Bro, what the f? Maybe you've been comfortable in an empty theater. You want to go watch Mask 2, Son of the Mask? There's nobody in there. Even if the theater was crowded, nobody would be laughing. Silent as the grave. Maybe he's autistic or something like that. This isn't normal human behavior. Are we taking some artistic liberties here? I like to imagine that as he left, he twirled his trench coat around like a cape and sauntered away. And so that ends Anne's short run-in with her first neckbeard. Is asking young girls to be silent how he's like trying to engage with them? Because I think that's doomed for failure. What a creeper. Stay tuned for more stories, including the introduction of Neckbeard Josh, a neckbeard teacher that I had the opportunity to meet while I was on placement in high school. And I'm still there, so more shenanigans are bound to happen. Thank you, and stay euphoric. I have never not been euphoric. The movie theater creep story, yeah, it's kind of dumb, but I love the Neckbeard Mike story. Naming his hat Alfonso. He really thought that was the ace of the hole. He thought you were the Cowboys for some reason. Let's get into the next story and see just what happens. Neckbeard Mike just wanted my lady to enjoy r/wincest and dead pigeons. Boy, we've had more talking about that than I'd care to talk about. Not the dead pigeons either. So yes, way back in the first episode, I said that, you would only see the true depths of Neckbeard Mike nearer towards the end. Well, guess what? We are now nearer towards the end. And I guess it's gonna be what it be, and we'll hope for the best. So hello all, OP back and at it again with another tale about your favorite neckbeard, the one, the only, Neckbeard Mike. If you have no clue who Neckbeard Mike is, feel free to read some of the other stories I've posted about him here, or more preferably at the link in the description. So, a lot of you guys have been direct messaging me for many months, asking me to write more stories. I have plenty of stories, and the reason for my absence was due to the negativity and annoying messages that people sent me telling me I was a bad person for not helping Neckbeard Mike. The people that are sending those messages wouldn't help Neckbeard Mike either. It's not anyone's job to help Neckbeard Mike. OP's dealing with the situation in the best way that she knows how, and yeah, how can you judge her for that? Because it's the internet, I guess. I basically couldn't be screwed answering all these people, and I was just sick of the hate mail, so I guess that put me off writing any more stories for around 10 months. Yeah, welcome to Reddit, you know? Everything's terrible and we'll never be able to truly leave. Honestly, I get mean comments like every day. It doesn't matter. It only matters as much as you let it matter. Push on, keep doing your thing, in spite of the haters, or, even better than that, use their hate as fuel to push yourself to newer heights. But yes, I digress. However, screw those people, because I'm back, and I plan on constantly updating you all with the activities of the euphoric Neckbeard Mike. Hey, that's a pretty strong poker face you got there, but those plans fell through because there's only one more story after this one. But I get it, writing's a hard thing, and if it doesn't get the reception that you want, then you're like, meh. But I'll tell you right now, keep doing it, because something's gotta give eventually. In the words of the legendary Peppy Hare,
never give up, trust your instincts.
Side note, completely irrelevant, but something I get asked a lot is what country I am from. I live in Australia, okay, mates? Okay, enough gabbering, you cobbers, let's get to it. I don't know how to do an Australian accent, I just realized. Probably one that I should practice, but it's fine. British is close, isn't it? What? Cast, be me, 21 female, likes friends and food. Be Sam, 21 female, used to go to uni with OP, but then moved an hour and a half away to pursue her dream of performing arts. Lives in shared housing. If there is a God out there, then I'm praying to thy great higher power that you don't be Neckbeard Mike. Engineering student, gentle sir, greasy, hairy, basically one huge ball of stinking euphoria. The story begins with me sitting on my bed on my laptop. That's basically how every story about me starts too. Staring dead-eyed into a screen. Ah, a life well lived. It was a cool autumn night, and I had just uploaded a new profile picture onto Facebook. Naturally, Neckbeard Mike was the first to comment. He wrote something incredibly cheesy about how good I looked, and I just liked his comment to end any further interaction. He then tagged my friend Sam into the photo and encouraged her to comment on how great I looked. Dude, you really don't need to do that. Please don't hype me up to my friends, okay? If they want to comment, then they'll comment. If they want to like the video, then they'll like the video. But you definitely did subscribe already to ReddX, right? You did do that, didn't you? That's the only type of harassment I'll encourage. Of course, Mike's comments were completely cringe, but I laughed it off. Right after that, Neckbeard Mike created a group inbox with Sam and I, and it was about how we needed to catch up soon. No, we really don't. We took different paths in life, and I think this is where we part ways forever. Try to hold back your tears. I know I am. Somewhere by the end of the inbox sesh, we all agreed to meet at Sam's house the next day. This meant another hour-and-a-half long drive with Neckbeard Mike by my side. Did we learn nothing? This went terribly last time. It's like, oh, a couple years, maybe he's matured. Yeah, and maybe you will have learned to drive yourself places. When While I did not want a repeat of what happened last time, refer to previous stories, I knew it would be fine, because while Neckbeard Mike was still a little bit, a lot weird, he did apologize for what had happened, and both Sam and I were able to tolerate him again. In small doses, that is. Is 90 minutes a small dose for you? It's a whole lot of cope, OP. It's your life, I can't tell you how to live it, but I'll say, couldn't be me though. Before anyone annoyingly comments on how I am using Mike to see Sam, STFU, because I love my friend Sam, and there's literally no other way I can go up there to see her. So much cope. Yeah, what do you expect me to call a taxi? Like, yeah, you literally could. That is one other alternative way. I just really like how she accepts that it is what she's doing, and then she's like righteously indignant about it because you guys said I'm using him, so just shut up. I like my friend, okay? It's just hilarious. Also, while Mike can be an absolute kid, he isn't a completely bad person. And at the end of the day, I feel sorry for him, so I try to help him whenever he's in my presence. Yeah, we've seen so much of that helping throughout these stories. Like I said, it's not actually your job to help him, but don't claim that you are if you didn't, you know? I just see unreliable narrators everywhere now. I'm never gonna be able to escape. Okay, we gotta move the story forward. Anyway, fast forward to the day that we are set to leave and go to Sam's house. I told Neckbeard Mike to message me when he got to my house, and I would come out. I did this because my father's an old school, traditional European man, and would quiz Neckbeard Mike to death, and I could not be bothered with the awkwardness of it all. Honestly, sounds like Chad Dad to me. He should go out there to the car with you and be like, hey there, son. Where are you headed with my child? Neckbeard Mike claimed that he was, quote, good with parents, and that it would be fine, but I sternly instructed him to just text me when he got to my house. He's not going to, and that's perfect. Completely ignoring my request, Neckbeard Mike, sure enough, rang the doorbell. My dad answered it, and was annoyed that Neckbeard Mike was driving me. My dad is a very, you should only be friends with girls type, which gets heaps annoying. Oh, so you're keeping secrets from your father. It's not that he's going to quiz Neckbeard Mike to death, it's the fact that you've been instructed to behave in a certain type of way by your father, and you're like, I'm gonna go against it anyway. It's part of growing up, it's part of living your own life, but at least, be honest. Embrace that that is what you are doing. That's all I'm asking for here. A little bit of authenticity.
Could you do that for me? Thanks.
Basically, Neckbeard Mike crapped himself, not literally, and was obviously sweating profusely and stuttering, clearly intimidated by my father. That's honestly the most fun part. I came just in time to take one look at the scene unfolding at the front door, think WTF, and jump in with an okay bye dad, and quickly led Neckbeard Mike away from my house. Well, Chad Dad didn't control that situation too well. OP says, dude, WTF? I told you my dad is insane. Just text me next time. Neckbeard Mike, I think it went well, actually. He can tell that I'm a responsible young being and will take great care of his daughter. Young being? What?
You look really old in this picture.
OP says, look, you're just lucky that I haven't told him that you tried to kick me out of your car last time. Ha ha. Now let's go, you big goon. It's really weird how you're writing it like you're friendly all of a sudden. Everything shifted in this one post, and it feels exceedingly fake to me. You're writing for other people, you're not writing for yourself. And it shows. Not trying to come at you or anything, it's just a little bit of constructive criticism. It's gonna be fine, it's fine. So we got into Neckbeard Mike's old, dirty car and started our journey. The ride up to Sam's house was decent. nothing out of the ordinary happened. We stopped off at McDonald's on the way there.
Rock and roll McDonald's!
And we found Sam's house with ease. Music was not present this time around, except for Rock and Roll McDonald's. Rock and Roll McDonald's! As we were chatting about uni and other things, Neckbeard Mike was strangely tolerable. Yeah, until he asks you to date yet again. Maybe he is over it. Neckbeard Mike did rant about how he wanted to court a fine maiden in the gaming club that he was a part of at uni. But she turned him down. He went to her house and asked her parents for her hand in marriage. Weird, but very typical Neckbeard Mike behavior. Yeah, that's just the chain of command. I'm not getting what I need out of you, I gotta go up to the next rank. Not really how it works, man. You shot your shot, and that should be that. I tried to explain why all that might have been weird, but Neckbeard Mike, being stubborn as hell, wouldn't have any of it. We finally arrived at Sam's house and knocked on the door, waiting for her to answer. We all hugged and laughed and reminisced in her empty apartment before eventually leaving to get lunch. 90 minutes y'all eating again? You just ate McDonald's. Jeez, it's just crazy metabolism in your 20s, I guess is what it is. So during said lunch of wedges and cider, the topic of Reddit came up. Sam, yeah, Reddit's cool. I tend to use it a lot nowadays. OP, as do I. There are so many awesome subs that I try to keep up to date with. The content on Reddit is just gold. Are you shilling for Reddit on Reddit? Is this a real conversation that happened between two humans? Can you be honest? Oh, I guess 3 humans. 2 humans and 1 neckbeard? Whatever. Neckbeard Mike says, I've been venturing out of my comfort zone on the internet lately, specifically on Reddit and 4chan. And because of this, I recently found r/wincest and r/struggle banging. Oh my god. Yeah, just out of left field, I guess. We could have just paid for a 90-minute cab ride and not had to worry about any of this, but... Okay. Out of his comfort zone, he says. This is completely what he's comfortable with. He's testing the waters. So at this point, OP and Sam were a bit taken aback. We didn't say anything, and Neckbeard Mike went on to say, how interesting those subreddits were. Don't even respond to him. Just get up and walk outside. He claimed that he would never do anything that he found or saw in those subreddits. He just loved looking at and reading the content posted. You sound a lot like those lolly degenerates, and it kind of makes me want to put a bullet in you. Sam and I were still speechless, just staring at Neckbeard Mike. He then went on to discuss things like 4chan and all the kiddie stuff he had seen on it. What the f?
Get him in the car.
How are you not, like, beating him to death with a bar stool at this point? At least freeze him out and never talk to him again. But OP is gonna forgive him for all this, I guess, because, she needs another 90-minute ride back home. What the hell? OP continues, while I was definitely keen to change the topic, the waiter, almost as if sensing the discomfort, walked over to ask us how our food was. Terrible. It's turned to ashes in my mouth because of this disgusting kitty diddler sitting directly across from me. Put him on blast. Tell the world. Let's get him on the list, okay? So we left the restaurant shortly after and got ice cream and walked to the nearby park to chill. Oh, we're still just chilling with him? Enjoying ice cream with the degenerate? How are we just glossing over this? Am I taking crazy pills here? Sam and I were on the swings. And Neckbeard Mike was standing near us, watching. Sam and I got a little thirsty and spotted a drink tap nearby. So we told Neckbeard Mike to watch our bags so we could run over and get a drink to quench our thirst. As our backs were facing the swing set while we were drinking, we didn't notice Neckbeard Mike slip away. Good. Maybe he's going to throw himself in traffic since nobody else is gonna hold him accountable for his actions. How are you seriously still hanging out with somebody who would say something like that? My sympathy is just rock bottom. I don't know what Neckbeard Mike thought we said, but when Sam and I arrived back at the swing set, Neckbeard Mike and our bags were gone. You got yoinked. He knew this friendship was over. He just wanted to get something out of the deal. We spent 10 minutes calling his name to no avail. Sam and I were both too hot and tired from looking for Neckbeard Mike because it was a scorching and humid 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degrees Fahrenheit, so we sat on a park bench that was right near the swing set. Are you more upset about the bags or the person? I mean, I know which I think it is, but I want OP to say it. After 10 more minutes of chatting to Sam and still wondering where the hell Neckbeard Mike was, I spotted him about 10 meters away within the playground equipment, staring at us with his middle finger up. I put my middle finger up at them. It's totally my immortal. Check out that reading on the channel as well. Sam and I were just confused as hell. Had he been there the whole time? Why was he hiding? And where the hell was our bags? It turned out that Neckbeard Mike was annoyed that we made him watch our bags, so he thought he would teach us a lesson by moving them away from us. Yeah, that logic. I mean, you could have picked up your bags and been like, hey, let's all go get a drink. It's sort of fair, you know, he's not your butler. He drove you 90 minutes to be out here and he still doesn't feel part of the group. Like, I sort of get where he's coming from. But this is also the weirdest way ever to lash out. We called Neckbeard Mike about 20 times, and we were too hot to bother running over and figured he would eventually get tired and join us in the shade. After 5 more minutes of him just staring, he finally walked over and sat down. Just wait him out. He can't keep his middle finger up forever. He doesn't have that kind of stamina. OP. Yo, WTF, dude, where are our bags? We simply asked you to mind them, not move them. Neckbeard Mike, if you cared about them, you should have taken them with you. Sam, Mike, the drink tap is not even 10 feet away from the swing set. Seriously, dude, where the hell are our bags? These girls just gaslighting the hell out of Neckbeard Mike right now. If the fountain is 10 feet away from the swing set, I probably could have come with you to get a drink, you know? You didn't have to ostracize the dude. Yeah, he's kind of weird, but if you wanted to ostracize him, maybe he shouldn't have driven the 90 minutes, you know? 20 years old, y'all acting like a bunch of f***ing children. I left my bag right by the swing set. F***ing grow up. Mike pointed to the playground and said, they're in there. Go find them. I hope he dumped him out everywhere. Now I'm sort of rooting for the Neckbeards. It's interesting how these stories go, you know? I was in no mood to play games, so basically, I got mad and explained why hiding our stuff on a public playground was not okay, or normal, or funny. Neither is using other people for your own benefit, but OP seems to be getting a chuckle out of it, so why not? A little bit of reaping what you sow, no? Neckbeard Mike eventually got the hint that I was pissed, so he walked over and pulled our bags out from underneath some playground equipment. I was starting to get too hot and tired for his BS. Then why is he even there? Oh, you needed a ride, that's right. After he grabbed them from the playground equipment, he started to walk back towards us with them. He stopped 3 meters away from where we were sitting and placed the bags on the floor and came over to sit with us. He was clearly getting a kick out of this, which was just plain annoying. Yeah, OP's not the only one that likes to have a chuckle, eh? We told him to stop being annoying and just bring our bags to us. We were being lazy, sure, but we never told him to touch our bags in the first place, so this was getting on our nerves. Yes, the absolute audacity. I don't think Neckbeard Mike is the good person here. I think OP and what's her face, Sam, Should have just shoved off after he said what he likes to look at on the internet. But then who would watch the bags, right? This is so dumb. At this point, Mike walked away and spent about 5 minutes at the drink tap. During this time, Sam and I were talking about how socially inept he was and how we planned on getting him some help to deal with his issues. How we planned on getting him some help. Yeah, I don't think I'm buying that one either. I think you were just dunking on the dude while he's away. That's not to say he doesn't deserve it, but let's just accept that that's what we're doing, no? Sometime later, Neckbeard Mike came back and brought our bags over, calling us lazy and stupid. We ignored him and went back to his car to go to Sam's apartment. Is he the only one with a car? The hilarious thing to do would be to put the bags in the car and just drive off. Block their numbers and never see them again. No, don't do that. This is pretty cold-blooded, but it might be funny. Once we were at Sam's apartment, we spent a great deal of time watching a live Hendrix DVD while chatting about nonsense that we'd been up to from the last time that we'd seen each other. Neckbeard Mike and I said our goodbyes a few hours later and set off for the long journey home. Yes, what a series of events we've had today. As we were driving down Sam's street, there was a flock of pigeons on the road. I told Neckbeard Mike to toot the horn so they could fly away in time, and instead he sped up and ran over one of them. He then laughed for the next 5 minutes before feeling bad and almost crying. What? He's got a lot of turmoil in his heart. Then again, sorta sus. Like, have you ever been able to run over birds? They ain't stupid, they just look that way, you know? The journey home was a long and tiresome one, much like this story. I fell asleep, thankfully, so no conversation was had for the first half of the trip. Did you at least give him gas money or something? Like, what is the benefit for him here? I guess he gets to pretend that he has friends. It's so strange. When I woke up, Neckbeard Mike began to talk about the internet again.
Welcome to the internet. Have a look around.
Neckbeard Mike.
And yeah, so that's how I found that r/sibling subreddit. I just can't believe stuff like this exists on the internet. It's crazy. The stuff I found will blow your mind. I can pull over and show you now if you want.
This whole thing has devolved so quickly, you know? It's not like this is coming out of left field anymore. You know he's this way, and you're still acting surprised about it. I told you to cut the cord. OP just says, nah, dude, I'm fine, just heaps tired. I'm not into that sort of thing anyway. Neckbeard Mike.
I didn't think I was into it either at first, but after entering with an open mind, I realized that you can engage in some really fascinating stuff.
Help, I'm stuck in a dryer. Fascinating. OP says, nah, man, that stuff really isn't for me. Sorry to disappoint. Sorry, not sorry, that sort of stuff, right? At that point, we still had 30 minutes of the trip left to my house. Captive audience. Can't even feel bad. We should have learned this lesson many times. Whoopsie. We drove in silence for 10 minutes, and then Neckbeard Mike felt the need to make conversation again. Neckbeard Mike.
I've done some bad stuff in my time.
Oh, Jesus. Let's just put him out of his misery, you know?
And the things I view on the internet might mirror the things that I've done.
Bro, what the f*** are you saying to me right now? Pull over right now so I can yank you out of this car.
But in a way, it's better than actually redoing what I've done. And by looking at words and pictures on the internet, it's more legal and moral, so I'm proud of myself.
I'm gonna ask you one more time. What the f*** are you talking about? And be very careful what you say next, because we might go from acquaintances who sometimes use each other to mortal enemies in a single sentence, okay? OP states, "These are the true ramblings of a madman." And to that, I can only really say, I mean, you're the one that's still hanging out with him. OP, look, Neckbeard Mike, what you've done in the past is your business, but if what you've done and intend to do is illegal, I highly recommend that you rethink everything and take into consideration the feelings and emotions of others around you. Neckbeard Mike, I will. Yeah, I'm sure. You can take that to the bank. We were almost at my house, and I was planning on instructing Neckbeard Mike on how to get to my house the quickest way possible. This route has many turns and is virtually impossible to remember if you've only driven this way a few times. OP, to take the shortcut to mine, you take a left over there. Neckbeard Mike, I know. I realized that I had never given Neckbeard Mike my address in my entire life. Even the last time we went to Sam's house, he just showed up. Being curious, I asked him, OP, how did you know how to get to my house this morning? Neckbeard Mike, it was easy. I've driven past before, so I worked out the easiest way to get to your house. Okay, but how did you find out that it was my house initially? There are some very nefarious goings on, but interestingly, the stalking is the least egregious of it at this point. Neckbeard Mike pulled up into my driveway, and I quickly said goodbye and ran inside. That concludes this short and possibly boring tale of the classic Neckbeard Mike. Now, classic, I don't think it deserves that. Degenerate, shameless, disgusting, and many other adjectives besides classic. I hope you enjoyed this comeback story, and sorry if it was a little lame, but I spent all day at a pop culture expo where I cosplayed as Ezio and am writing this at 1:30 a.m., and I am damn tired. Have a euphoric week, all. Yeah, after 10 months of not posting, I had to write this one at 1 a.m. I don't know, dude. This is where the entire story sort of went topsy-turvy, you know? Mike says the most egregious thing possible. OP, kind of a jerk, but still hanging out with him because she still needs him. I'm gonna have to go with a solid everybody sucks here, but there's one more story that we gotta struggle through, so I'm gonna get through that. And then we can call this one a wrap. Neckbeard just wants Milady to understand him. Bro, that ain't my job. You're gonna die alone. And you will have deserved it. Hello, friends. You may not remember me, but I wrote a series of real-life stories involving an iconic and utterly euphoric figure infamously named Neckbeard Mike. I had long forgotten about posting stories on here, and I recently reread them after getting a few messages asking me to post some more. Due to this, I remembered a few stories that I had not told the great community that is r/NeckbeardStories. I just think it's funny how in the last post she's like, yeah, I'm gonna write a lot more stories, and then this is the last one, and it's dropped like 2 years after all the other ones. I get it though. Motivation, that's a hard thing sometimes. So the following story took place a few years ago, and it is possibly the most effed up, and it will paint Neckbeard Mike in a very disturbing light. Even more disturbing than what we've heard so far. I'm shocked that you're still engaging with this person at all. It is not an overly long narrative, however, the deep, dark past of Neckbeard Mike was revealed, and this is what made me cut all contact. Yeah, I guess you really do believe in second chances, OPs. And thirds and fourths and fifths. Please, I urge you, I really and truly do urge you to sit back, relax, and tune in for another greasy tale of the one, the only Neckbeard Mike. Yeah, that's what I've been here doing. Go ahead. So be me, OP, 21 at the time, almost finished my Bachelor's of Education and ready to partay. Yeah, everybody loves a good partay, don't they? Dear sweet mother of God, if there is one, seems OP's a little euphoric herself. Do not be Neckbeard Mike. Engineering student, greasy, hairy, euphoric, you get the idea. This story begins the day after Neckbeard Mike supposedly ran over a pigeon. Come on, still, do you know anybody who's run over a pigeon? And he took me home from our mutual friend Sam's house without me ever actually telling him where I lived. It started with a simple message. Neckbeard Mike says, "Hey, LP, what's hanging?" Dude, you're really still gonna engage? LP says, "Hey, not much, man. Get some rest after the trip to Sam's?" Who cares? I hope he lays down and dies forever because his nickname is Pat O'Filey. Try not to diddle any kids on your way through the parking lot. Or like, on your way down to hell or whatever. Neckbeard Mike says, "Yeah, I got a bit. So I was wondering if you were free today. I have some stuff that I want to get off my chest. You, I trust. You deserve to know this. You can help me move past it." Get out of here. I'm not a professional therapist, okay? You need counseling. This is beyond basically anybody's abilities. OP says, "What exactly do you mean?" Neckbeard Mike, "I'll tell you when I arrive. See you in a bit." Dude, I didn't invite you over at all. But I guess that's the least of his crimes at this point. I was slightly confused because we didn't have any plans today and I had a massive assignment to finish. I was also pretty drained from the events that had taken place the day before. See, Neckbeard Mike just wanted Milady to enjoy dead pigeons, and I did not really want to see him again this soon. However, I low-key wanted to know what had Neckbeard Mike in such a weird state. So I figured we could go to Macca's and have a chat, and that'd be the end of it. Or so I had thought. You really think he's gonna wind this back? He's gonna have a magic bullet that just saves everything that he admitted to yesterday? No, bro. I don't want to interact with you anymore at all, ever. Go lay down on some train tracks. I'm for real. Neckbeard Mike rocked up around 15 minutes later, as he lived in a suburb that was quite close to mine. As I got into his car, yes, I know I am retraded. No need to point it out in the comments. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, 3 times, I don't know, I guess I'm stupid or something. At least we're learning to embrace it. I literally hung out with him due to sheer curiosity, as his personality was whack AF. I thought you only hung out with him to help him, to be like a good, better person that the comments told you that you should be. I guess we're shifting the narrative again. Fine, I'll go with you. I know now that I could have been putting myself in a potentially dangerous situation, but here I am, alive and well, so, yeah, but recognize that you might be setting an example for anybody who reads this story. I did lots of stuff that could have killed me, but yeah, you won't catch me doing it again. I noticed Neckbeard Mike seemed really off. He was usually pretty friggin' cooked, but today he seemed anxious, nervous, and just plain weird. Yeah, because he laid all his cards on the table and now people know he's a disgusting monstrosity. I said, hello, etc., and asked him what it was he wanted to talk about. He said, not here. We need to go to someplace more private. Oh, this is not gonna end well, is it? Now, we were literally in a car with the windows rolled up, the doors locked, and there weren't many cars on the road, so I asked him, how much more private did you want to get? He chuckled slowly and said, you will see, my dear acquaintance. Dear acquaintance. Yeah, cool. Maybe it's time to tuck and roll.
Come on, tuck and roll, Grandma, tuck and roll!
First of all, I thought he was either going to murder me, or we were burying a dead body of someone else that he may have just murdered. As I was not new to Neckbeard Mike's antics, I played along, thinking that everything would be fine. It's the worst survival strategy. Close your eyes and wait for it to be over. What are you doing? After about 25 minutes of small talk about the weather and food and bird funerals, we had finally arrived to our destination. We weren't anywhere that I recognized, and we were parked in front of a 2-story brick house. It looked weathered and certainly lived in. OP, what are we doing here? I don't even know where I am. Neckbeard Mike,
This is where it all began.
OP, where what began, man? Neckbeard Mike,
Do you remember how I was telling you yesterday that I'd done some bad things in my lifetime?
dude, I don't need a friggin' confession. Go turn yourself in, okay? This is not something that I need on my plate right now. Or ever, really. OP just says, okay, I guess so. Neckbeard Mike,
Well, this is the beginning of a sequence of bad choices I have made, although not regretted.
OP, all right, man, spill it. Where are we? Neckbeard Mike,
It happened a year ago inside that very house. Someone I wronged, but why did it feel oh so right?
I do not need a confession. I'm surprised that you haven't started carrying around a ReddX Industries brand lead pipe in your handbag or something. As soon as this story starts, just slam him in the nose with it. It's not gonna go well. I was beginning to become uncomfortable. We all are, honestly. Whatever happened in that house, or whoever it happened to, was none of my business. And I didn't feel okay knowing that we were parked so close to this someone's house. Neckbeard Mike,
It happened last year. I lived next door to a single mom, Michelle, and her 12-year-old daughter, Holly.
oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
I don't like where this is going.
Mike continues.
Now, Michelle worked long hours, and me, being the gentleman I am, offered to babysit Holly whenever she needed.
Dude, can we, like, crowdfund just an assassin from the internet that's not an FBI agent? That would be great. That's just what I need right about now. OP says, I suddenly did not like where this story was going, and was about to tell Neckbeard Mike that maybe we should leave, and he could finish the story elsewhere. Yeah, finish the story while digging your own grave. Neckbeard Mike,
Now, Holly was a stunning little girl. Tan skin, energetic. I knew I liked her straight away.
oh god, my soul is collapsing. OP, Mike, whatever happened, you don't need to tell me, nor do I really want to know. I mean, you should have cut him off already. We shouldn't even need to open this barrel of monkeys, but here we are, I guess. Neckbeard Mike says,
But you I trust, so please just listen, because I'm in an awkward position due to what happened.
oh no, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. I'm supposed to feel bad for you? You're disgusting. I sat in silence, waiting. Every noise outside seemed to echo in my mind. I was terrified that I would be told something that I couldn't help fix. You've already been told things that you couldn't help fix. I don't think your true motivation is to fix him at this point. As far as what your true motivation is, I can't be sure anymore. I have no idea how you haven't run screaming into the night. Neckbeard Mike says,
Holly and I became very close. It was a relationship I had longed for all my life, the only downside being her age. Apart from that small something that society has irrational negative emotions about, it was perfect.
Then wait for her, Mike. It's not perfect, but it's something. I really hope he doesn't say what he's about to say. OP says these were the literal words coming out of his mouth. More ramblings of a madman. Neckbeard Mike,
See that house over there?
He said while pointing to the 2-story brick house.
That is the house.
Yeah, that's been established, stupid.
Michelle went to work one day, and as soon as she left, I made my move.
Making moves on a 12-year-old. You're disgusting. Everything about you is horrible. He's just rocketed to like the top 10 worst neckbeards we've ever seen on the channel. What would ever make you think that this was okay? He continues,
Holly was on the couch, and I went over to her. And now, I never made the first move, but one thing led to another, and there I was, receiving my first blowy from a minor.
oh God, oh God. This is like the worst thing I've ever heard. I think I'm gonna be sick.
Oh, now, I knew it was wrong, but I didn't care. I let her finish.
And by that you mean you finished.
I was just finishing on her when Michelle came back home. She forgot her purse. I simply got up, walked to the front door, and left.
How long did this sequence of events last? You know what? Doesn't matter. Get against the wall. Bring Michelle in here. Let her watch. Here I was, sitting there, stunned, hearing that Neckbeard Mike had received from Michelle's child had me disgusted, enraged, pissed the hell off. Good, good. Now we harness that anger, and what are we going to do? Kill the Neckbeard! You bring the torches, I'll bring the pitchforks. We're gonna do this one the old-fashioned way. OP says, please tell me you didn't just leave without saying something? Anything? Oh yeah, like that would have redeemed the situation, OP. What? This is irredeemable. I won't settle for anything less than the death penalty. Neckbeard Mike says,
I wasn't gonna get my butt beat by Michelle. She was fat as hell, and I was so relaxed from that blowy, and then I wanted to go home and sleep.
Just no remorse, no reflection, no feeling whatsoever. You think he's getting this off his chest just because the guilt is eating away at him? No, there's something else happening that directly affects his life, and he's trying to pull OP in on it. I'm glad you cut ties after this. If you didn't leave after this, then all hope is dead. For real, for real. And OP says, by this point, I was done, Neckbeard Mike.
And now, toward the dilemma, Holly recently got into a relationship to this douchebag named Brad.
You're still keeping tabs on this child, are you? Is he the worst Neckbeard? He might be the worst ever. OP asks, okay, and? Neckbeard Mike,
well, Brad added me on Facebook yesterday. I'm assuming Holly told him all about what happened. And again, I ain't about to get my butt beat.
Maybe that's exactly what you need, Mike. Your face smashed open and your teeth smashed in. OP says, Mike, it was a child, and then you left her house without feeling any sort of remorse or guilt, and now you're raving on about how her new boyfriend added you on Facebook. It's not all about you. Probably the smallest of the issues that we're looking at here, but yes, you're correct. Neckbeard Mike says,
yeah, but I just don't see why Holly would tell him anything.
Oh my God, could you just be dead now? That'd be a whole lot easier for everyone if you just laid down and died right now. At this point, I was beyond annoyed that he took me here, unloaded this baggage on me, and was still just being a complete about everything. OP, why did you take me here? I want you to take me home, now. It can't be that far away, okay? Walk for a couple of hours and go back home. I'm not engaging with this anymore. Neckbeard Mike says,
I have one request. I need you to go inside of Holly's house and steal Brad's phone and give it to me so I can delete his social media. It's the only way, OP. I know you can do it.
What the hell is even that?
You want me to burgle someone's house and delete their Facebook? Like that deletes all the information in his brain? Like he's not just gonna make another Facebook? Now I have heard some harebrained schemes in my time, but what the hell is even that? OP says, okay, 1, why the hell do you think I'd do that for you? 2, how do you know Brad's even in there? 3, How the hell would I pull that off? You've lost the plot, dude. Take me the hell home. Get out of the car and start walking. Neckbeard Mike, please, OP. I made sure Brad was there before I left to pick you up. His car's parked out front. If you won't go in, then I will. The spare key's under the big rock in the front. That's fine, dude. Get arrested however you want. Just don't interact with me anymore. OP says, look, I'm done. I'll call the police if you do anything to those poor people. Take me home. I am done. Neckbeard Mike, if you won't do it, then I will. Then just shrug. Then just leave him to his own devices. We don't need to carry on with this charade anymore. I was stunned. I had sent my location to my sister so she could come and get me as Neckbeard Mike was talking because I needed to get away from this bloody idiot. I was going to call the cops if he actually left, but my mind was such a whirl that I didn't know what the hell to actually do. Bludgeon him in the face is a good start. Yeah, I think that's the way that I'd go. See if he learned anything after, and if he didn't, well then you gotta hurt him some more. Pain's a good teacher. Neckbeard Mike left the car, and I saw him run to the front door. Like he had previously mentioned, the key was under a large rock. I saw him unlock the front door and disappear inside. Now you're an accessory, OP. This is not gonna go well. I did not want to be caught up in the middle of this, so I left his car and ran around the corner to wait for my sister. Did you call the cops during that? Little anonymous tip? Get him some court-mandated help, you know? I don't know that I would have. My main goal would be getting the hell out of there too. My sister arrived 15 minutes later, all while Neckbeard Mike was inside and hadn't come back to his car. As I got into my sister's car, I told her to drive away now. I filled her in on what had happened, and she was so worried for me and what Neckbeard Mike might have tried to do. Yeah, OP's safe and sound. How about the little girl that's still in the house? This 15-year-old child dating 20-year-old men. I don't even know what can be done to fix this, honestly. Now I'm just sad. Now I'm just depressed. At least tell me Mike got hit by a bus or something, huh? Hours later, that same night, Neckbeard Mike wrote a bunch of Facebook statuses about loyalty and how people these days are not what they used to be. All statuses directly aimed at me. And yet you're still friends on Facebook. What? Why are you making these decisions? If you're not gonna hit him, the least you could do is ghost him. Please stop affirming for him that this behavior's okay. And finally, OP does say, yeah, I did block him and I didn't hear from Mike again for a while. But when I did, the dew literally hit the fan. But that's a story for another time. Oh, come on! All right, fine. He went to jail. The end. OP didn't write it. We never get another Neckbeard Mike story, and I find that really sad. But I like to believe that he got what was coming to him. I thank you dearly for tuning in. Please refrain from commenting, "You're a bad person. You should have helped Holly. Neckbeard Mike is dangerous," when the truth is, I had no idea what the actual hell was going on, and it wasn't my place to get involved. Well, no, not directly involved, but you can take a step to get the police involved, and they could get this whole thing sorted out. No OP is perfect, and you just kind of have to accept that. You got a little deer in the headlights. You could only think about escaping the situation. That's fine. You're still not as terrible as Neckbeard Mike. Nobody is as terrible as Neckbeard Mike. I did not expect it to go this way. I heard he's got some deep, dark secrets, but this was way out of left field. OP says, when I got home, I tried to find Holly or Brad on Facebook before I blocked Mike to reach out to them, to no avail. To this day, I do not know what happened to Holly or Brad. However, a few days after the event, I saw Neckbeard Mike with noticeable bruising on his face. Yeah, he got beat up by a Chad for sure. A Chad named Brad. If you want to hear more, please let me know and stay euphoric, everyone. I do want to hear more, but this is 6 years ago, so I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Maybe that's for the best, you know? I don't think I want to dwell on this any longer than I have to. I've been cut real deep today, okay? I am not okay. I hope that you enjoyed this story in some capacity, I guess. If you'd like a more light-hearted Neckbeard story, I'm gonna link the Wolfbeard saga on the end card.
I hope you'll enjoy that.
Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye. Go ahead, cut them open. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Promise, swears